Alright, we'll go ahead and get started. First of all, welcome to MTA Trading, our training class for today. This is a free class. Usually I put together a slideshow, which I actually didn't have time to do for this particular class, and yes, it is being recorded. I will be doing a repeat of this class soon, and I'll put all my notes that I have, several pages worth of notes here, into Google Slide form for ease, in order to follow along easier. Everybody is on server mute. This way the class flows smoothly. If you guys have any questions or anything, please type it into chat. Usually I would say please hold any questions off until the end, and I'll go ahead and recommend that again unless the question is urgent or you don't understand something I'm discussing. I'd hate to touch on a topic and then move on without you guys having a complete understanding. So this will be a shorter class today, as we're just going to hone in on a few very specific things here. Okay, so to start, I just have to get this out of the way. This is not trading advice. It's for educational use only. However, once you grasp the understanding of it, you can for sure use it to make trading decisions. So I'll start off by saying, have you guys ever created a watch list before market open? I've done this hundreds of times, and more often than not, like what's moving in pre-market ends up reversing or doing the opposite of what you think it's going to do after market open. So creating a watch list sometimes before market open, in my opinion, can build unrealistic expectations and sometimes even lead to losses. And as you know, the way the market is designed, it's not designed to pay you money, it's designed to take your money. So I have spent the last 4 months developing a custom scanner that finds the plays for us based on volume, and there are over 60 different different settings on the scanner that I tweak and I fine-tune each day. The name of the scanner is called the MTA Sniper. I call it that because snipers hone in on their targets, and that's exactly what this scanner does. When I first built it, it was kind of frustrating because it was coming up with all these good plays, but none of the plays were working out. And I realized that it was because I built it to find stocks, but I don't trade stocks. I trade options, and I assume we all trade options. So when I made that adjustment, then I really could start to fine-tune it to find exactly what we're looking for. So the cool thing about it is it finds exactly what options to trade, and it even gives price targets for profit. So why does the scanner work? The reason the scanner works is because, and yes, I am recording it. The reason the scanner works is because actually 6 of the settings, of the over 60 settings that I have, are all volume based, different kinds of volume. I can't give away the settings of the scanner, but what I can tell you is that one thing that makes it so powerful is it's created a moving average for volume. And when that moving average is breached, when the current volume is greater than the moving average that I have set, it will send out the alert that this specific option is off the chain and is getting a lot of big money attention. So first, let's see, I would like to, first of all, I'll just show you the scanner here in Thinkorswim. This is, hold on just a second. Let's see. This is the scanner that I have built. And it's over here on this side of the screen. And I know this seems like a lot of information. And actually, before I show you that, let me get the format out of the way, because if you guys aren't familiar with the Thinkorswim format, it can be a little bit confusing. Okay, so this is actually a screenshot of of the scanner that is filtered into the server. So I have forwarded all the scan results into a channel on the server, so you guys can get those in real time. But if you're not familiar, can you guys see my mouse by any chance? Can somebody type that in chat and let me know if you can see my mouse? Sometimes it works on Discord, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, great, perfect. Okay, so here is the setup. So you'll see the similarities here with the alert, and then you'll see the same kind of format over here. So what we're looking at here is this is the ticker, AMC. This 210910, that's actually the expiration date, but it's just out of what's normally the order. And yes, again, it's being recorded. So, okay, so what this jumble of numbers actually is you have a date. You have 0910, which is the date, okay? That's 9/10 of 2021. And then you have this C, which means call, and then 50, which is the strike. And then I have it here to clarify the format. You have AMC, and then the expiration, and so on, and then the strike. Okay, so if you guys need a reference to that, I can always repost that screenshot in chat. Okay, so here is how the actual scanner works. So you can see here, I've got, these are all different scanners. And the reason why I wanted to show you this end of it is because I want to show you the filtration process. So these are, like I said, I've got six different scanners all flowing into the MTA Sniper. It all makes it up, and they're all six scanners are filtered differently. So they route, they narrow down the choices like a sniper would do. It hones in on its target. So in this example, this is from market close on market close yesterday. So you can see all these tickers come up, right? You got Apple in there, you've got AFRM, you've got Facebook, you've got GM, Netflix. So you can see how many choices are in this top scan, right? And then you see in the next scan there are less choices here. But what you're seeing here is you're seeing lots of the same stuff. It's just filtered out a lot of the noise from this first one. Okay, so you've got NVIDIA, Roblox, Netflix, Facebook, a lot of the same stuff's coming up. AFRM. The next scanner down, you can see there's no room to scroll because it has filtered even further. Okay, so now we've got PLTR, Netflix. We see Netflix repeatedly hit the scan here. Netflix, 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 and finally, we've got our last scanner here, which has filtered out only Netflix and PLTR. So the way the scanner works is it scans every minute, right? It scans both on the minute, the 5-minute, and the hourly time frame. What we're looking for is consistent bounces in volume. There are many other settings, including EMA standards and several other things that all have to be hit in order for it to hit the scanner. So if volume tapers off for a minute even, or if the EMAs don't meet my certain requirements, these will disappear off the scanner and they'll no longer be valid. So what we're looking for, and let me just kind of follow my notes here. Okay, first of all, what we're going to look for is time of day. The time of day that this works best is the first hour, maybe two. And the reason for that is because after that, volume gets diluted, right? So hopefully you guys are familiar with the difference between volume versus open interest. This is a huge deal, right? So this is a very key factor in finding these options and playing the options. Volume is the amount of trades that have happened since market open, okay? And the next day that volume would be reset back to zero. Open interest is the amount of contracts that are still open from the following day. So open interest will only change once a day. What we're looking for here is volume to be greater than open interest, always. And as long as that is the case, and I know a lot of people swear by, limit orders, but the way to trade this strategy is through market orders, because the volume is greater than the open interest, which means the liquidity is excellent. Usually it's under $5 is the difference between the bid and the ask spread. So a lot of people say, well, I missed that alert and then it went up 100%. Well, did you do a limit order or a market order? Well, they were fighting for a limit order and then the price got so far away and they never got filled. So market orders are safe with this to get both in and out of the trade. You just want to make sure you get in. You want to get in. So the way the scanner is set up is the end game with the scanner, and I have this later on in my notes here, but the end game is to filter this down so much, which you see the OTM cap here, OTM cap. So this is a filter that I just added 2 days ago. My end game is to narrow this down, maybe even more, because I want to convert this into auto trading. So as soon as something pops up on the scan, the play is valid. Like that is it's also scanning for my entries. Like what am I looking for when I want to enter a trade? So it's scanning for the perfect setup, right? So when that setup is met, it will pop up in the scanner. So ideally, we should be able to open a trade blindly, and I never recommend this. I'm not recommending you do this, but I'm stating this because we're wanting to auto trade these alerts. If you were to auto trade this, that means as soon as they pop up, the trade would be automatically opened in the brokerage, which would essentially be a blind trade. But because I'm setting all these perimeters, it's not actually blind trading. It's scanning for the exact setup that I choose, that I specify. So in the end, once we finish the auto trade end of it, it will just open these up as soon as it hits the scan. As soon as these items leave the scan, the trade will be closed. It'll be just that simple, and that's exactly how I've designed this. Let's see. So the things we're looking for, I'm going to go ahead and show you what the actual sniper looks like, and it's going to get overwhelming. I promise you that. But I'm gonna explain it so it's very, very simple and very, very easy to understand. So you guys have already seen that the scanner scans once a minute. We're looking for things that show up in multiple scanners. So those are both perimeters that we're going to be looking for in the sniper. So we're going to come down here. Let's see. Here's the sniper. Okay. And what we're going to look back for, you can see here, first of all, there are different scans. You can see MTA cap. You can see MTA, this is OTM, which is out of the money cap. MTA, EMA 1 hour options. The sniper, this is dated for reference for myself, so this is another scan. These are all different scans, right? And you can see here, like in this scan, for example, yesterday at 8:48 this morning, AMC popped up, right? It popped up in 3 different scans, so that's definitely on our radar. Another thing we want to look for. Why didn't I take the Facebook? I didn't take the Facebook because it didn't, in this time frame right here, it didn't have multiple strikes. What we're going to look for is multiple strike prices. Now, the cool thing about this is when lots of volume flow into out of the money strike prices, what it will do to the stock is pull the stock up to that price. So when you see AMC 50, 51, 52, price of AMC will actually get pulled up to these prices. So these give us profit targets, which is great. So this automatically roots out any guesswork. You know, when it pops up in the scan that the requirement is met to enter the trade, it gives you profit targets. So we're going to look for multiple strike prices. We're going to look for large cap stocks, which actually This is exactly why it says OTM cap, because I've added the large cap filter on that particular scan. We've got Facebook. I mentioned earlier it scans every 1 minute. So what we're going to look for is we want it to repeat. So we're going to let this go, right? I mean, you're welcome to enter on the first alert you get, but I recommend waiting to see if things keep hitting the scanner. So this is the first scan, right? You've got the next scan 8:55 here at 9:09. See, we've got AMC popping up again. Let's see. Well, I jumped the gun on that, but AMC does pop up again. Here it is right here. So AMC is popping up again. So that means it's hitting the scanner. That means that the volume on those contracts is even higher than it was when it first hit the scan. That volume is above that moving average that I have set for the previous 50 candles. So AMC is definitely going to be on our radar. We see AFRM starting to pop up, and we see AFRM continuously hitting the scanner. Let me just follow my notes here. Okay, repeat hits several times I've already talked about. Multiple strikes can be used for profit targets. Length of stay within the scanner. Okay, so we can see this scanner, and again, this scanner is these results. Sorry, that's the wrong screen. These results here that are popping up actually on my Thinkorswim in the scanner. So as these pop up and hit the scanner, it's being forwarded over to this channel within the server. Okay, so you guys are getting real-time updates during market hours. Let me just check the chat to see if there's any questions here. Okay, no questions so far. So we're going to be looking for repeat. And one thing I wanted to point out, AFRM was a play that we took in the server yesterday, and it was amazing. In AFRM, out of the 4 months I've been working on this scanner, I've never seen anything stay in the scanner all day long. And AFRM was just there. That means that the volume was continuously above that moving average, which is crazy amounts of volume. And I'm going to take you through these trades here in just a second. Let's see. If volume decreases, it will not show up on the scanner anymore. Let's see. I've already talked about the automated trading strategy to use with the scanner. Okay, so let me show you these examples here. So let's visit, let's look at GM first. GM was amazing, and I didn't take this yesterday because normally GM doesn't move much, but yesterday would have killed it. Also, the reason I didn't take the GM trade was because it didn't have multiple strikes. As you can see here, 50 call showed up here, 50 call showed up here. It's all the same call. So it really didn't give us much of a profit target, but that's because GM didn't move that much. But on a 0 day till expiration day, which was yesterday, you can get insane moves in options prices on just a slight move in the stock. So here is the GM 50 strike call for yesterday's expiration. So when I trade, yeah, I'm looking at the stock chart, but I'm not trading the stock, I'm trading the option. So I'm honed in on the option, okay? So you can see here that this alert came in at 9:30. Let's see, I thought we had a GM pop up before that. Looking for a 9:25. Okay, either way, here we go. So 9:29, right? GM first popped up. Let's say that we auto traded this, just blindly jumped into it, right? So it would automatically open a GM 50 call. Okay, so here on the chart is where it would have opened that up at. It would have opened it up at 17 cents or $17 per contract. And yes, it dipped down, but look what happens here. This contract, if you had gotten in here at 17 cents when the alert was first put out, This thing went all the way up to $41. Crazy, right? So there's a very, very simple strategy that you can use with the scan. And I've noticed this strategy works really well with the scan results, but doesn't work well over time with anything that doesn't pop up. So you can't just, if you apply to this strategy to just stocks or or other options, just any random options that you choose, you're going to end up getting stopped out most of the time. The reason why this works so well with the scan results are because these options move like crazy. I don't know if you guys have ever gotten to an options trade that has just sat still and not done anything. We've all done it, but it's no fun. So the simple strategy is simply waiting for this white line, which is the 3 EMA, to cross the 9 EMA, which is the blue line. Okay, when it does that, if you had gotten this alert here, so now it's on the radar, or you could say you're watching the option, right? You can see here that when that alert comes out, that you've got this bearish engulfing candle, and then it comes down. So you can wait, right? And as soon as this crosses the 3 and the 9, you could enter, and that would get you in at $7, right? Or 7 cents per contract. So this thing went, if you had gotten in right there, it went from $7 all the way up to $42. That's just a ridiculous gain. I mean, it's incredible. So that's one example. I'm going to show you AFRM, which was another example. Let's pull it up in the scanner. Checking for questions now. One moment. Okay. It says GM was added to the. Oh, okay. The question is, it says that the GM was added to EMA options 1 hour, 8/3, and what's the 8/3 refer to? 8/3 actually refers to the date that I refined that scan. It's just my way to keep track of it, and I'll go through and rename them if you guys want, but it's just for my reference so I can keep track of the date of the update. Okay, so let's take a look at AFRM here. And AFRM was one that we took in the server. Let's see here. So AFRM came up, and actually I had a real-time live kind of course, kind of like a condensed version of what we're doing here today, yesterday, and we actually talked about AMC and AFRM in real time as it was happening, and several of the people within that chat session on the live trading channel actually took those plays and were able to get in at very, very good prices. Okay, so we can see here that, oh, sorry, I've got two screens here, and I was looking on the wrong screen. I need to keep it on the screen I'm sharing on. My fault. Okay, so we can see AFRM starting to pop up. All right, so this is popping up on one scanner. The scanner to really focus on is the OTM cap and the MTA cap. So this is what I can see is the final refinement before it's auto traded, which means normally when something pops up in this scan, you could literally auto trade it, like enter into the trade as soon as it comes up. Again, I would like you guys to watch these things and get used to how it works before just jumping in. I'm also the final filter. All my trades are taken from this, so you'll see me post the trades on my alert channels. So AFRM comes in at 909 yesterday, right? So we're going to look at this. I probably should have gotten a cleaner chart for this, but that's okay. Okay, so here's the AFRM 150 call. Let's go back and look. So we've got AFRM 110 call, 115, and you guys remember yesterday I kept updating, like AFRM hit my target. The how I found that target was just by using these options prices, because it kept hitting. So AFRM 115 over and over again. AFRM 115, 115. So that's my target, and it hit that easily. If we scroll down here, we can see now we have AFRM 110, 115, and 120. So now our new price target is 120, which I updated that yesterday as well, and I let you guys know, and that price target hit as well. Interesting side note, last week, Monday, we were getting a lot of puts coming up in the scan, right? A lot of SPY puts. And the volume on those SPY puts was at 445 and 440. And I made a note that I thought that we would see 445 this week and likely 440 next week. So we closed at 445 on Friday. That's what SPY closed at. So this is a very, very powerful tool. It can give you lots more information than just entries and exits. It can tell you what direction the market's going to go before it heads that way as well. So that's a very, very positive feature on this. Anyway, so let's look at the AFRM. And again, that was at 909. Let's see here. Zoom out. And this is how I have my charts when I actually trade. I've got the stock, and then I've got the actual option next to it. So AFRM came in at 909 yesterday morning. So if you had taken that right at 909, and I apologize, I probably should have cleaned this chart up more before this presentation. 909 AFRM call was trading at $28. I'm just going to go ahead and add a price line there. Actually, let me go through and make this clearer for you. I've got a different chart that will work. Let's see. Okay. So this is far more clear. Okay, AFRM 150 call at 909. So if you had gotten in here, you'd gotten in at 31 cents, $31 per contract. And this thing went all the way up to 135 bucks. And if you had waited until it crossed, actually in this particular case, it would have gotten you in at the same price. So we see here where the 3 EMA crosses the 9. We also get a bullish engulfing candle for confirmation. It would have still gotten you in at the $31 price. But this thing jolted all the way up to $1.35, which is just ridiculous. Let's take a look at the live trading here. We went through. Here we go. So you can see here in the live trading, and this I think we actually got in late here. You see 937, and this is a 115 call. I usually go with the strike that I think is most likely to land in the money. And at the time, this was before we got the 120 strikes put out on the scanner. So I went with the 115 call at 440. And as you can see, let's see, first trim at 515, that was absolutely excellent. You see here I adjusted my price target to 115 because the 115 strike kept hitting the scanner over and over again. And then you see here where I adjusted my target to 120, which again, I mean, that's because 120 showed up on the scanner repeatedly. And if we look at AFRM, we can see that AFRM hit a high of the day at 126.58. Incredible. So the scanner worked perfectly. I've been watching this scanner do this for actually the last 3.5 months. And I thought it would be really beneficial to share this with you and exactly how to use the scanner. Also, real quick, if you've taken any of my previous classes, you know that I swear by the 15-minute and the hourly chart. But when it comes to the scanner, I suggest using the 1 or the 5-minute chart because these options move incredibly quick. Very, very quick gains. Usually, you can hit 50 to 100% gain within the first like 30 minutes after you show up on the scanner. Let's see. Got a question here. What's the best way for us to do external validation? Okay, so I actually I just spoke on that, but I will go retouch on it again. That was a question typed in chat. Let's see. So we're going to look for validation. We're going to be watching the actual option. Okay, so watching the actual option is important. I use the option for validation because that's what we're trading, not stock necessarily. The easiest validation that I have found, and I've gone through hundreds of different potential strategies to use with this, but the one that I found that works the best is just the simplest. When this 3 EMA crosses the 9, which the white line is the 3, the blue line is the 9, that's a buy signal. And you can see here I've got a strategy that actually puts out the buy signal here. Also, a bullish engulfing candle is excellent validation. There are a lot of times when we get a bullish engulfing candle and get a huge rally without necessarily the 3 dipping below the 9 in order for it to cross back above. So bullish engulfing candles work amazing, but when used with the EMA crossing strategy, it works amazing. And again, I've back tested this with regular stocks too, trying to come up with a stock a strategy, and this just the EMA's crossing like this over time doesn't work on just stocks and random options. Okay, so don't watch the underlying stock. Just use that for profit targets. Yes, yes. I actually, when I enter into a trade, I always look at this, and I realize this chart's a bit messy, and I really don't need all of this bells and whistles. I just need the basic chart here like this for the option. But I always have, you know, the ticker we're trading as well as the option we're trading side by side so I can see what's going on. Let's see. Are there any questions about this? This is a pretty simple, pretty basic class. Um, please ask any questions. I'm keeping my eye on chat here. If you have any questions, please type them into class chat. Okay, we've got a question coming up here. And while they're typing that question, if any of you guys have a server, and you would like the scanner fed into your server, I am at that point. Or obviously we have it on the MTA trading server as well. Okay, so will we have access to the scanner to do it in TD Ameritrade? Yes, absolutely. And I will go back and show you on here. the scanner. I'm also keeping an eye on my phone for any questions here. So this is the scanner within the server here. It's called MTA Sniper, and again, it's called that because it hones in on the specific target that we have. This is the scanner, and I know it seems like a lot, but I took you through how to filter all this out. What we're looking for again is large caps, looking for multiple strike prices and hits on multiple scanners. We can see the name of the scanner here, and we can see how we want repeat hits for large cap stocks. All my alerts, the question is, are most of my alerts going to be from the scanner, from the sniper, and labeled from sniper, or is it going to be a mix? Most of my plays are all from the sniper. I see other plays come and go through the day, and sometimes I'll label it. If I label something very, very risky, it's not from the scanner or it's a late play. So that's kind of how you filter that out. But again, there are lots of plays that come up in the scanner that I don't take or that I miss because I'm in a trade that are excellent. That GE was actually, I'm sorry, the GM play was actually way better than the AFRM play, but I missed it because I was in AFRM. So that's why I want you guys to look at this tool and be able to use it. So you can see how it scans once a minute. Again, so you're looking for repeat hits. You're looking for multiple strikes. Out of the money strikes can be used for price for targets for your entry and exit. And I mean, it's just I've tried to make this as simple as possible. It tells you exactly what to buy. Um, are there any other questions? It is an extremely powerful tool if you get to know how to use it. Okay. Well, if there are no other questions, I just want to let you guys know that we will be putting together another class here in the next week or two to cover a swing spread strategy that I've been using it forever. It's got about a 90% win rate. Um, it requires about maybe an hour a week. We just open up spreads once a week with distant expirations, and I will be going into that in detail in that class. Also, we also offer other classes within this server, and that can be found here. Let's go ahead and show you here. You can find the class choices here and then gain access to those classes here as well. Awesome. Awesome. That's excellent. Excellent. I'm glad you got a lot out of this class. If you guys are learning a lot, please be sure to post in testimonials. If you guys need access to my server, please shoot me a DM. On the server, you'll find access to the scanner, as well as my alerts and several other amazing analyst alerts. Yes, the question is, should you watch the options chart as well as the stock chart? Yes, I watch both, but I hone in on the options chart because a lot of times those options will move differently than the stock. Yep, exactly. Oh, I can't I can't give you the settings for the scanner. That's 4 months worth of work that I. But you can have full access to the scanner on my server, or if you uh, own a server, just hit me up and I can uh, send that feed over to you. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure that it'll be next week. It'll be within the next 2 weeks. And it'll always be Saturday at 1 o'clock p.m. Central Time. And again, the next class is going to cover spreads that are perfect for people that work, that want their accounts to consistently go up. And I say it's got a 90% win rate, but in the last 6 months we haven't lost a single trade doing it, and our profit targets are always 50%. Sounds good. Uh, if you guys think of any questions after the class is over, please feel free to shoot me a DM. Other than that, have a great day. Thanks for attending.